less. Of course, this may vary. It is sufficient to run the operation in the current conditions. You may be reminded that the plant is not producing energy at the moment. It is still operating at a very low regime that is needed, what we call in the jargon cold and hot shutdown, the 6 reactors. So they do have the people to do this operation, but of course it is a source of concern. My technical staff is looking at this, including the ISAM's experts there on site. And regarding your first question on their conditions, they are fine. Of course, this is a facility that is under special circumstances, but they are fine and they can do their work correctly. I am in contact with them daily, several times a day.
I have a question. My question is about the permanent missions of International Atomic Energy Agency, when they will start to work at all stations, plants, and what they will do there. Can you please?
Yes, of course. Well, they have started, with the exception of Khmelnytsky, which is going to start tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. But they have started. They are there already, and they have a long list of things that they need to do. You know, a nuclear power plant is a very big a place where there are many things that need to be checked. We are going through a number of activities that we are going to be working with of course, the Ukrainian regulator and also Energoatom. There is, apart from that, there are some issues related to supply chain. In the current conditions, it is very difficult sometimes to get replacements, pieces, equipment that are needed for the normal functioning of the plant. So we are looking at lists of equipment that Energoatom and the regulator have submitted to us, and we're going to be working to try to provide those. So each plant is different. Each plant has its different characteristics and issues, and this is why we have a permanent mission of experts at each one of them, so we can look into what is needed at every place, according to their needs, of course.
Director, we are almost a year into this war now. Can you just lay out the stakes here? How dangerous is this situation, a major conflict in a country with so many nuclear power plants? Well,
the good side of the answer could be that almost a year after the beginning of a conflict, the first major conventional war waged on a territory that has a vast nuclear infrastructure. We've seen difficult moments. We had very difficult moments, challenges there, blackouts where the facilities were operating in emergency mode, and we saw the resilience of the system. This is very important. We saw that the regulator was well prepared. We saw that the staff at the plants was reacting in the way they should, and we are here. And this is the other thing. This, as any, I would say, war, it has a transformative effect, and we don't know exactly how it will affect us all in the end. But one thing I can say, the IAEA has changed. The IAEA has been doing and is being called to do things that one could have not imagined before. And also for us, it has been a challenge, and we are very, I would say, committed to continue doing what we are doing. I think the situation is very precarious, as I'm always saying. I'm very worried about Zaporizhia. I'm very worried. What you said in your first question is an element, but even without new offensives or new campaigns, it's always on the front line. And only today there were 2 major explosions in the vicinity. It was not at the plant itself, but we were in alarm, we were in contact. So we know every day that a nuclear accident or an accident having serious radiological consequences may take place any day. This is why I'm so concerned, and this is why I'm still saying, and I will continue to say it, the establishment of a protection zone around the plant is indispensable.
What's it like dealing with Rosatom? Is your relationship, is it cordial, is it professional with you?
It's professional, as it should be, it's professional.
And we had heard some reports that the Russians possibly were thinking of essentially connecting Zaporizhzhia to their own power grid. Have you seen any?
No, I haven't seen anything to that effect. And if it was the case, our daily updates would report that, of course.
How are talks going about a protection zone?
Well, as I have been saying, I would love to come and tell you it's agreed. Everybody agrees on something, which I believe is important. The plant needs to be protected. There is no doubt about it. What I need, this is perhaps my challenge, because the parties are not negotiating with each other. It's the Director General of the IAEA putting forward proposals that are hopefully viable, that are reasonable, that are technically sound, and that they do not get into areas where it should not get, into the military operations or considerations, because of course that would be inappropriate. So this is what I'm doing. I continue to do that. I had a good conversation with the President about that. I am going to visit Russia soon, pressing for this. I think it's absolutely necessary.
Do you find a spirit of goodwill, of cooperation when you meet with Russian officials? Do you feel they wish to cooperate and achieve something here?
Well, your question is an interesting one, because it has a subjective element to it. Do I feel that they want to cooperate? I have a professional engagement with them. They know that when the IAEA is engaging and is asking and requesting objectively technical questions that they have to comply with, because at the end of the day, we should not forget that the safety standards that we are trying to implement have been agreed by everybody. So until I have an indication that that there is no engagement, I want to believe that the professional engagement is there. Please don't misunderstand me. This is not a value judgment. I'm not here attributing merits or lack thereof. But my professional engagement is absolutely necessary with them, as you may understand.
You pointed out that we have made it almost a year now without a nuclear disaster. Do you worry the world is becoming complacent about the threat?
Yes, I worry. That's an excellent point. I worry that this is becoming routine, that people may believe that, well, nothing happened so far. So is the Director General of the IAEA crying wolf and nothing is happening? Well, it can happen anytime. So, and my duty is to do everything I can to prevent that from happening. When we had Fukushima, we could blame Mother Nature. Who are we going to blame if something happens? I have been saying we need to do this. I have been saying this would be the consequences of a radiological accident. We need to avoid it while there is time. So I hope my call is heard. Well, thank you very much. I hope to see you soon. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for organizing.
Thanks. Appreciate it.